I forgive you.
Hello, my beautiful movie people. Thank you so much for clicking on an episode of Side Flick. Let's talk about movie news. Some of the things we're going to be talking about here today, guys, is it looks like Marvel is not going to bring us any major announcements at Comic-Con this year, which leaves the door wide open for DC to blow it out of the water. We got Sony maybe coming to their senses and just not making the Bad Bunny El Muerto movie. Some pretty interesting updates involved with Deadpool 3. Really, that alone was so much more. You guys know the drill. Timestamps will be in the description. I also want to quickly say thank you to everybody who's been supporting me over on Twitch. I've been streaming there the past 2 nights where we just get together and talk some movie news here, not really any gaming, and it's been really great to interact with you guys and dictate what I should be talking about. I'm planning to go live again tonight, but it all depends how long it takes me to edit this side flick, and I also want to put out a little review for the first episode of Secret Invasion. So link in the description if you want to be alerted for when I go live on Twitch. But okay, the first thing I want to talk about here today, guys, is we got our first teaser trailer for Zoey 102. Now, I don't know how many of you guys grew up watching Zoey 101, but that thing was my jam, okay? I can recite the theme song for you right now, but I don't want to get copy strike. Ooh, I know you see me standing here. You do the rest. Do I look good today? And well, Paramount has kind of just been prying on our nostalgia. They did it with 3 seasons so far of the iCarly reboot where they made it a little bit more mature. And Zoey 101 was the next project up here. And you know what? I was really looking forward to this. I told you guys, I grew up watching that show. I wanted to go to that school so bad. I had so many memories of watching it. But this trailer, man, it feels unrecognizable what I'm witnessing here. This feels nothing like the original Zoey 101. It feels almost like a higher budget Lifetime movie. I know actors grow up, faces change and whatnot, but a lot of these cast members look unrecognizable to me from what I remember, and none of the humor really seemed to land with me. I'm still definitely going to give this movie a shot. I'm going to watch it and give it a chance, see if it can tickle my nostalgia bone right there, but the trailer was supposed to tickle my nostalgia bone, and bone was not touched. This analogy is very bad. So I am going to have to give the trailer for Zoey 102 a trash. But hey, I'm hoping it was just a badly put together trailer and that movie can make me a little happy. One trailer I wasn't expecting to be all over is the trailer for the new Luca Guadagnino movie entitled Challenger, where we follow Zendaya and Josh O'Connor and Mike Faist in this story about 2 guys who seem to seduce a famous tennis player and then just basically unraveling her life until it's a complete mess. Now, putting aside the obvious jokes everyone is making about how hard it must have been for Tom Holland to see this trailer, I really like the intensity that they're showing off. I think Zendaya is a fabulous actress. This almost looks like her version of Gone Girl. So I'm definitely going to be adding this to my list of movies I'm going to want to watch when it gets released. Let me know what you guys thought about the trailer for Challengers. Moving on here, let's start up our Marvel talk before we get into the bad Comic-Con news. Let's start off with something kind of interesting. So we all know Deadpool 3 is coming up, right? Very excited. Probably one of our most anticipated movies of next year. I can't wait to see Deadpool and Wolverine side by side in a film together finally. That didn't count. Get that out of my face right now. And we have yet again another wild bonkers rumor kind of circulating about the movie. Now take it with a grain of salt. It is coming from a reliable source that's got some stuff right in the past, but like always, they've also gotten some stuff wrong. Where they're mentioning here we are going to get varying characters of both Wolverine and Deadpool in the film. So for one, they mentioned here that we are at least going to get 2 versions of Wolverine. Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. People are also even pulling up the photos of the stuntman and Hugh Jackman who had beards that look the way they did from the movie Logan, and then Hugh Jackman sporting a different beard that was a lot shorter and looked like his earlier appearances. That could literally mean anything. We've heard that there's like maybe some time jumping in this movie, so we could just have an early day Wolverine and an old Wolverine in there. But if it truly is going to be variant versions, that would be a lot of fun. It would be cool to see our Fox Hugh Jackman Wolverine meet like a classic comic version of Wolverine with the whole yellow outfit, some touches of blue in there, or maybe the yellow and brown suit. But as far as Deadpool goes, it looks like we might get a ton of different variations on his character. To me, it's just, again, it's kind of mind-boggling to hear all these different reports about Deadpool 3 because it's sounding like a crazy movie. Like, if we go back to the early days talk about the movie, for one, it's going to involve the TVA. So we're going to have him get arrested because he did some time travel shenanigans that shouldn't have happened. Okay, so we got them involved. Then we got Wolverine coming in here, but this is a Wolverine before the events of Logan. Then we've also been hearing reports that this will be a celebration of the Fox universe, that we might be seeing some of the older X-Men characters like James Marsden, Halle Berry Storm, Jean Grey, all those characters make some sort of appearance in this movie, and that's what I'm kind of hopeful for, because I would love to see James Marsden as Cyclops one more time. Just like one more action scene with him as Cyclops, it would repair the childhood trauma of what you did to him in X-Men 3. And while that is believable, because those are X-Men characters and there are time travel shenanigans in this movie, I could see that happening. But then they also say they might include Fox Fantastic Four characters, and I'm like, what? How? I'd see it, but like, how are you gonna pull that off? There's even other scoopers mentioning that Deadpool 3 and The Flash share a lot of similarities in terms of like story and themes. And I mean, that's already starting to come together with these different variant versions, possibly multiverse hopping, time travel shenanigans. It doesn't seem that crazy that some scoopers are saying that it's going to share a similar plot to The Flash. So I don't know. I'm definitely optimistic. I'm curious. I think Ryan Reynolds and his team are going to knock it out of the park and give us a great little trilogy here, because I really have loved the past 2 Deadpool movies. Let me know what you guys think about these details involved with Deadpool 3. All right, bringing it over here, we got reports from The Wrap exclusively that let us know that Marvel Studios is going to skip Comic-Con's Hall H this year. Now, they do make it clear in the article, if you're someone planning to go to San Diego Comic-Con, which is usually the biggest Comic-Con and all the big announcements come from it, Marvel will still be there and have a small presence, but they're not going to have a panel at Hall H, where they have famously revealed a lot of stuff like their phase slates, their upcoming movies, casting announcements. It's usually a time for Kevin Feige to get on stage and say, Fantastic Four, Tom Holland. But nope, it looks like they don't want to make any announcements here, and there's a couple of reasons for it here, and that completely make a lot of sense. Like, for one, the current writer's strike. The writer's strike has really delayed a lot of Marvel projects, paused them, we don't know what's going on, or when those movies and TV shows will start back up and running until they figure out a deal for the writers, which is why recently we just had like a major delay of all these upcoming Marvel movies. There's also the elephant in the room with the Jonathan Majors situation that is still developing, and that is like the star they were hinging on for their big bad of the universe. He's currently right now about to go to trial to try and prove his innocence, and I guess Marvel might just be wanting to wait on the outcome of that before they move forward. And even with like some of the negative reception with movies like Quantumania, Love and Thunder, and other projects that fans just weren't all that excited for, there's been rumblings that Kevin Feige is taking a second look at all these projects, wanting to perfect them and make sure they come out with quality. It could be a repercussion of this. So it might be a time right now where Kevin Feige, Mr. Feige, is just wanting to kind of step back, get all his chips aligned before he gets up there and announces something like a Blade movie that was announced in 2019 and has just continued to gotten delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed. You don't want to just keep doing that with all your other films. So it's understandable, but it sucks, man, because I was really hoping we were going to get the announcement of the Fantastic Four. And even on that, there's a small update with the Fantastic Four casting. A while back, we talked about the final 4 candidates that were most likely going to be up for the role, and something went south. So if you guys don't remember, we talked about how Adam Driver, Margot Robbie, Paul Mescal, and Daveed Diggs were up to play the roles of the Fantastic Four. Some scoopers and insiders are now saying that Marvel got a little too ambitious with these high celebrities and didn't account for how much it was going to cost to get them in there. Like for Margot Robbie and Adam Driver, they're big actors. They've been in big projects. Adam Driver in the Star Wars series, Margot Robbie in all her DC roles. There was rumors that just them two alone would be $20 million each, and that's already $40 million spent on just having your actors. No VFX, no props, nothing else. Add in the other Fantastic Four, all your other actors. I think Marvel had to step back and go, all right, maybe we don't hire A-list celebrities for the entire cast. Let's hire maybe one A-list celebrity member. Marvel have usually been the talent makers. I mean, nobody knew who Tom Holland really was until he was Spider-Man. No one knew Chris Hemsworth before he was Thor. Focus on a good story in a movie, and I promise you the fans will show up. Hopefully. But then that brings us over now to DC. I mean, James Gunn must have been happy to hear that Marvel wasn't going to be there. And it's also kind of a smart move. Even if they already do have a Fantastic Four cast ready and signed on and they just got to make the announcement, that casting might have been overshadowed with whatever James Gunn is going to announce at Comic-Con, because now I think he's going to go big. I mean, the current big thing we know he's most likely going to announce is a couple of Superman Legacy cast members. Like right now, within this week, James Gunn is doing screen testing for the Superman actor. That's where they get them in a Superman suit. They put them up against an actress, see their chemistry on screen, film it and whatnot. Robert Pattinson had to go through it when he was trying to become Batman wearing the George Clooney suit. So by the time Comic-Con happens, he'll know who Superman is, Lois Lane, Jimmy Olsen, those people, and he's going to make that announcement, and I think he's going to make it huge. And I don't think it'll just be Superman news. I think we'll get a couple of other updates in DC and kind of hype people up, because James Gunn kind of needs to do that. The Flash right now is bombing, is flopping, and I think it's showing a really bad sign for an upcoming movie like Blue Beetle. But I honestly don't know. Either way, DC's gonna win Comic-Con this year, and yeah, I'm excited for that. Bringing us here to talk about Sony possibly not going through with the Bad Bunny El Muerto movie. So you guys know, not the biggest fan of the Sony Spider-Man spin-off universe. I'm willing to give the movies a shot. Like the Kraven the Hunter trailer, although parts of it made me upset, I can totally understand why people are excited for it. The action looks great. Aaron Taylor Johnson as Kraven looks awesome. I love that it's going to be rated R, the bloodiness. I'm hoping that movie blows me away and it's really good. But one movie I don't know how I was going to fake any excitement for was this Bad Bunny movie that was going to be about a wrestler that wrestled Spider-Man in like one comic. They were going to give him a whole movie. The film had a release date of January 12th, 2024, next year, and there was mumblings that they were going to start filming it towards the end of this year, but now Sony has removed the release date for this movie, and in the Hollywood Reporter article, they give us a couple of suggestions for why they're most likely not going to go through with it. For one, the writer's strike again. Apparently, the script was finished, but there was something Sony really wanted to change about the script to get it ready for filming, and now with the writer's strike, they can't do that. And so with the writer's strike kind of delaying the movie a bit, Bad Bunny, who is a musician, a star, makes enjoyable music. I do like his music. The man has a touring schedule, and now that puts him out of availability to make the movie because he's going around the world singing. All these kind of different little factors coming together might make Sony just go, it's sadly not going to be worth it. Sure, you could wait for after he's done with this tour, or maybe in a couple of months when the writer's strike hopefully is over. But the industry and media move fast. Bad Bunny, when this was announced, was pretty high up there in fame. I still think he is, but you never know if in a couple of months they're still relevant and this is worth making. Because it feels like they're hinging more on the fact that Bad Bunny is in this movie instead of this wrestling comic character that's attached to Spider-Man. There was one aspect of the El Muerto movie I was curious about, because they were going to have the character of Tombstone in the movie, which is kind of a notable Spider-Man villain. There were reports coming out that Marvin Jones III was actually going to play Tombstone in the movie, be included. I think physically definitely looks the part. Apparently this is also the voice actor of Tombstone in that first Spider-Verse movie, so you know he's got a voice down. I really don't know, man. I'm gonna continue watching every single Sony Spider-Man spin-off movie, because that's just what you do as a Spider-Man fan. You sign that contract from birth. You like Spider-Man? In a couple of years, you have to watch these spin-off movies, man. I don't make the rules. So whether it's Madam Web, El Muerto, I'll watch it. But hey, if you're not gonna make it, I don't think I'll be that sad that El Muerto's not happening. How are you guys feeling about El Muerto's release date disappearing off the calendar? Do you think it's going to get made still, or do you think it's done? But that is all the movie news we currently have going on right now, guys. I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch me talk some movie news. Don't be forgetting to hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me on Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, Instagram at 3C Films. You guys are the absolute best. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.